and welcome back to St. Marcus. This exhibition matchup between the Texans and the Bobcats. Let's talk a little bit more about Tarelton State in their first years as members of the United Athletic Conference a year ago. Their final year in the WAC. 9-win improvement from a year ago for head coach Jasmine Johnson. This team has a bright future.
Absolutely. These Texans are scrappy, but also still establishing their culture with the second-year head coach. What I really want to see out of them today is offensive in the front line. Alyssa Din, Madison Frank, they are such solid offensive players, and I'm hoping to see more out of that from this team.
Now for the Texas State Bobcats, for head coach Sean Hewitt this year, all about one of transition, not only into a new conference, but with really a brand new team.
Absolutely. This is a new era for the Bobcats. I mean, they lost 5 to 6 starters from the 2025 season. So we're going to be seeing a lot of new faces this year, from transfers, from the freshman class. I'm excited to see what they do with this first exhibition match.
You see there what these two teams have the game for the Texans trying to figure out their chemistry going into a brand new year. Here with the Bobcats, it's all about getting ready for the 2026 season. It's going to start on August 28th. Big time tournament here in St. Marcus as the Bobcats will host Oklahoma out of the SEC and a familiar opponent, Louisiana, out of the Sun Belt on opening weekend.
Absolutely. Those are two very strong teams to take off right off the bat, but looking forward to seeing what they do against the Texans here today.
And we are underway between the Texans and the Bobcats. Texas State with first serve. Off a bump set swing coming from the left side from newcomer Peyton McKee, transfer out of Missouri State. Coach Hewitt figures she'll be one of the go-to scorers this season, having to replace the production left behind by Samantha Wunsch.
Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of testing today on the offensive side of the Texas State Bobcats. I think they're very strong in the back row right now, but curious to see who solidifies their spot in the front row this season. Bobcats
again losing several key contributors from last year's team. 6 key players gone. 4 of the ones that will really stand out. We mentioned Samantha Wunsch, their go-to scorer. 2 great defenders at the net in Jed DeFree and Bailey Hanner. A veteran like Maggie Walsh, who hails from St. Marcus. That's a lot to replace.
It absolutely is. And you can see it, them trying already from the front row. That last ball went to India Bennett in the middle and was just trying to go high hands there. They're going to be testing out a lot of different shots today, Brant.
India Bennett, a tremendous middle blocker of Southeast Louisiana. First year Texas State. This serve is a service error for Peyton Fidel, the junior out of Baytown, also a first-year player on the court for the Texans, transferred from HCU. And here is McKee. Talked about her time at Missouri State, close to 300 kills a year ago as a Bear, 11th most in program history by a freshman.
I always love a top spin serve, Brant. That's always a fun one and very hard to pass up, especially here on the Texans side.
So McKee will serve again. Averaged about 3 kills a set a year ago, led Missouri State. Hit at a really impressive clip, too. Over 220. Nice line drive serve received by the libero. Here's a setup at the middle. Out of system play. Back set. Shot from Benke too deep. Cuts the Bobcat. Oh, no, there's a touch on the Texans, I beg your pardon. And the Bobcats now lead 4-1.
That was a smart strategy there on the Bobcat side, going high hands. What's going to be really crucial today, Brant, is figuring out those setter-hitter connections. They've only been in the gym together for a week and a half, and now they're going to be working on that chemistry.
Now, Texans coach Jasmine Johnson talking to the down official. And we have a challenge. So the first challenge comes in about 5 points into the first set. And, of course, the call on the floor was that there was a touch against the Texans, and Jasmine Johnson believes there was not.
I don't think I got a clear eye on that. I'm not sure if there was a touch there. I guess we're about to see it here soon.
Right now, Jasmine Johnson taking the opportunity to visit with her team. Former player herself at Middle Tennessee, after that time in the SEC at Mississippi State. Time in the coaching ranks after her time as a player, most recently before time in Stephenville in the Sun Belt at Louisiana. A lot of familiarity for her with this Texas State program. She got to know Janelle Fitzgerald, arguably the best scorer in Texas State's program history. She mentored Janelle when she was a young player. In fact, she told us that it's her goal with this Texas program to model it after what Sean Hewitt has done at Texas State.
That's a good model to follow. Something I really appreciate about Texas State is the culture that they establish from season to season. I know recently they've gone on camping trips together at the local YMCA just to, bring in that good team chemistry. They did lots of fun obstacle courses, slip and slides, and all kinds of fun things in the preseason.
Yeah, a lot of team bonding, as you said. And they really got the most of that YMCA experience out of Twin Lakes. You mentioned the rock climbing, archery, s'mores, doing all the outdoor fun stuff, and also painting each other's portraits. That was a really fun thing to see on social media.
Absolutely, Brant. Just a few days ago, the Texas State Bobcats painted each other's portraits.
All right, call stands, so there was a touch. It remains a 4-1 lead for Texas State. Unsuccessful challenge for Jasmine Johnson. But the biggest thing for her team last year, her first season at Stephenville, was the fact the players were bought in, and she could tell that they all love volleyball once again.
That is such an important part of this sport, Brant, is just having passion each day. It's hard to go in every single day and work hours and hours towards this sport, and you want to make sure that you're enjoying it.
Well, now there was further conversation, and so the call has been reversed. So the point goes to Tarleton, makes it 3-2. So everybody trying to figure things out here in the brand new season.
Absolutely, it's an exhibition match. This is what this is all for. Trying to figure out everything from challenges and when to challenge and everything along those lines.
Well, here's Madison Rice Lockett, senior out of Louisville, on service for the Texans. Off the hands of Britton Finley. That's an ace, and we're tied at 3.
That was a really strong serve. You could tell she was aiming for that sideline there, and it was brilliant placement on her part.
Britton Finley, sophomore from San Antonio. Carrying on a legacy here at Texas State. Her mom, former women's basketball great Tori Talbert, led the Bobcats to a conference title back in the early 2000s. Nice swing on the right side for Benke. Brooke Benke, a player who Sean Hewitt has said has really stepped up her game over the offseason.
She has. Sean Hewitt has said that she has been a voice on the court for this team. During the low moments, during the high moments, she has shown leadership skills.
Benke, junior from Brenham, served from Texas State to the Texan libero and Letty Ray Gowen. Nice dig for Texas State. Finley with a shot, too strong. Had a tough start for Finley today, and now we're deadlocked at 4.
Absolutely. You could tell they were out of system there. That was a tough set to get up, and they made it happen, but Finley just unfortunately hit out on that one.
And now Gowen, libero from Stephenville, hometown product, but his started career at Lubbock Christian at the Division II level. Deep serve, saved in by Jasmine Perricow for Texas State. Set up in the middle of the net, Perricow with a dig, but into the scores table it goes. And Tarleton on top for the first time.
Tarleton State is serving very tough right now. You can tell that this is very much a strategy for them coming into this match and just trying to get Texas State out of system.
We won a very good server a year ago, 11 aces for the Texans. Part of a team that won 16 matches, 9-win improvement for the year ago, winning 9 in WAC play. There's a nice swing from Finley. Rice Lockett can't handle it. And now deadlocked at 5.
That was a strong swing from the outside. I'm excited to see this fire out of Finley. I've heard a lot about it, and I want to see more of it this set.
Is coming off an injury plague season, didn't play a single match after October 2nd last year. At the net, Finley makes another play. Back-to-back plays for Finley. And Texas State on top 6-5.
You have to think, Grant, she was just kind of getting warmed up here within the first few points, and now we're seeing it back-to-back points from Finley.
One of the returners for Sean Hewitt for a team that lost 6 key players from last year. Good line drive serve. Shot from the 3-meter line, saved by Finley. Blaine with a bump set for Benke. Back row shot dug out by Gowen. Shot for the left side off the hands. So the Texas State defender Houston. Rally still going. Tapped over, saved by Finley. Benke sets up Benke, or Blaine sets up Benke again. Play at the middle. Got to lie by Lara. Long rally continues here. Finley is shot for the left side. Kept alive by Blaine. Binky, a third swing in the rally. Dug out on the back row by Rice Lockett, and the point goes to the Texans after a long rally between these two.
That was brilliant placement there by Frank. That was a high-level rally, lots of back and forth, strong swings, and to go with that soft spot right in the middle of the court was absolutely brilliant.
Some high-level volleyball there for these two teams, and now serving for the Texans, Kingsley Midas, freshman playing near her hometown of New Braunfels. A lot of family in attendance here today. Finley with the left side, nice placement, her third point of his first set.
I'm loving watching Finley right now because you can tell she has a really strong shot selection. She's not going to one spot every single time. She's trying out different parts of the court.
48 points last year as a freshman. That serve just beyond the back line, just missed it, ace. Tied at 7. Been pretty back and forth so far in this first set.
It really has been a lot of back and forth, a lot of huge digs in the back row, keeping the ball alive. It's seeming a little bit hard to terminate the ball on each side right now.
Alexa Earl serving here for the Texans, junior out of Austin. Bump set from Blaine. McKee the shots. Right back to the net. Blaine, back set, Binky. Nice dig there from Midas. Another back set. Point goes to Texas State. Ashley Houston coming off a great preseason camp. Didn't play a year ago because of injuries, but could have a big impact in her second year from Missouri.
Absolutely. And that was already a strong slide from her on the middle. A lot of great offense happening right now on Texas State.
Paracal, first-year transfer from Robert Morris. She was the libero of the year for a team that won 5 matches all of last season. Tied again here at 8 as the Texans score this point. And Tarleton State back on service.
Just a small mistake there by Bennett in the middle. You can tell she's trying to be aggressive and just had missed contact there with the ball.
The libero, Gawain, comes out, and to serve is Madison Frank, senior from Melito. Blaine, cross court for McKee. Stop from the right side. Nice dig from Finley. Play at the net. Blaine keeps it alive. Free ball from Finley. Diving play made by Paracal. Play at the nets. Paracal, another defensive play. John Hewitt noting this year's team will be better defensively in the back row. Nice shot left side, but denied. Anna Blaine, the rejection, and Texas State back on top.
What a great press over on the net there by Anna Blaine. She was right on top of that ball, and there was no getting past that block.
India Bennett, first-year transfer from southeastern Louisiana, also there. Blaine serves, standing serve is deep and too far. Second service there for Texas State here in the opener.
Texas State is very much trying to serve in the back half of the court, very much on that in line, and they're just slightly erring in that aspect right now.
Back to serve here for the Texans, Peyton Fidel. Time Southland Conference Setter of the Week last year at Houston Christian. Also named the Southland's All-Tournament team. Blaine setting up Bennett's denied. Good play of the nets by Alyssa Dend, the reigning WAC Freshman of the Year. Made her presence known defensively all of last season for the Texans after beginning her career at Texas Tech. Third down the line, Benke can't handle it that today. It's a 2-point lead now for Tarleton State.
I would like to see a little bit more in-system play here on the Texas State side. I feel like they're playing very off the net right now when it comes to their setter.
Fidel serves again here for Tarleton State. Jump serve down the line again to Benke. Blaine back set McKee. Off the hands. No touch. Shot goes out, attacking error. It's now a 3-point lead and a 4-0 run for Tarleton State.
The Texans definitely have the momentum on their side of the net right now, and you can tell in the way that they're playing. They're looking looser. They're playing more energized right now.
Third to Finley. Benke with the free ball. Shot for the right side. Nice one-handed play made by Blaine. Bump set for Finley. Got it over. McKee taps it over. Nice save made by Gwen. Another long rally here as Blaine sets up Bennett in the middle. This was a big part of Texas State's offense last year, but Bennett, new to the team, replacing the production left behind by Jen DeFree and Bailey Hannah.
She has such a strong arm there with the cutback going right to the setter for the Texans.
Top shot blocker in the Southland a year ago. Top 10 of the country blocks per set. Blaine this time going to set up Finley. Bryce Lockett, the shots. She's looked really impressive in this opener for Tarleton State.
She really has. Bryce Lockett, you can tell, is one of their go-to players right now. They keep setting her up, and she keeps terminating.
One of the Texans' top offensive players last year, over 240 kills. Also very good defensively, more than 40 blocks and 200 digs. Now serves here for the Texans, who lead by 3. Almost got a piece of Perical, but able to dart out of the way. And Perical now comes out. In the libero position is Karis Carpenter, freshman from Livonia. As India Bennett serves here for Texas State, down by 2. Top serve received there. That ball put on a tee by Linnea Lara. And Brooke Binke didn't miss that shot.
That's what we call a happy birthday. When the ball goes over the net and the offensive player hits it right off the bat, that is a happy birthday in volleyball.
13-12, Tarleton State. There. Kept alive by the Texans. Free ball for Texas State. Quick play at the middle, but the jump missed time by Houston.
There's going to be a lot of that within this exhibition match. You know, these teams have only been playing together for a week and a half during the preseason, so there's very much chemistry that still needs to be built between these setters and hitters, so I'm not surprised by plays like that happening today.
You mentioned setters and hitters. Blaine's going to get the majority of the reps today at setter as Dylan Gilkey is unavailable. Battling through injury right now, as we know, for Gilkey, coming off an injury-plagued season from last year. Missed half the season after suffering a hand injury during pregame warm-ups of the season opener. Bryce Lockett. Now it's Blaine to Finley. Out of system play here. Blaine, little back set for Houston. And we are tied at 14.
I really like the offensive plays that we're seeing on the Bobcats side right now. They're looking really strong with that slide there.
Again, it has been very tight in the opener. 3 lead changes and now 9 ties within the first 28 points. Binke with the deep serve to Bryce Lockett coming our way. And Texas State on top 15-14 as we hit the first break of the opening set. Bobcats on top in the exhibition over Tarleton State. You're watching Patcho Volleyball. Back after this in St. Marcus. And welcome back to Strand Arena. It is now a 16-15 lead for Tarleton State. The Bobcats challenging the last point here. Sean Hewitt visiting with his team, as we saw earlier. The Texans a successful challenge, overturning a call. We'll see if the Bobcats can get the same courtesy here.
This has been an interesting start to the first set of the first game of the season. A lot of back and forth. You can already see some star players starting to show out here on each side. I mean, Alyssa Den with the Texans, Rice Lockett with the Texans, and I'm loving Bennett right now on the Texas State side.
India Bennett for the Bobcats, newcomer from southeastern Louisiana. Very good presence at the middle. There, a look at Haley Brewer, assistant coach for Sean Hewitt, and used to be a player within the Texas State program. Back when Sean Hewitt was an assistant for Karen Chisholm. Call on the floor stands. Point goes to the Texans. More about Haley Brewer. So her time as a player ended the first year Janelle Fitzgerald started at Texas State. Handed off the baton and herself got into coaching, and out her first year on this staff at Texas State.
It is so special for this team to have a coach who has quite literally walked in their footsteps, Brant. I mean, they know everything from the Texas State culture, and she's a fantastic addition to this staff.
That ball hit the antenna, and with that, now tied at 16. Neither team is led by more than one. Again, it has been very back and forth so far here in the opener. These two will play 5 sets today, no matter the outcome of the first 3 or 4. So we could have a final of 4-1 or 5-0, or of course 3-2. There's McKee making a play. Texas State back on top, 17-16.
Brilliant swing there by McKee. You can tell she was going off the outside hands there of the Texan block.
And there is Jasmine Percow. 6th in the country last year in digs per set, 5.24. Close to 600 on the year, playing for Robert Morris. Shot for the right side. Nice dig by Rice Lockett. Back set, Benke the shot. Angle shot. Played defensively by Minus. Play of the nets goes to the Texans. Good play for the right side from Onitha Davis, a freshman out of Colleyville, although she just moved to Texas last year. Before that, grew up in Hawaii.
Wow, very neat.
Blaine. Again, miscommunication between her and Houston. That's the second time we've seen that here in the opener.
Absolutely. Again, like I've said, this is just going to be some misconnects right now with the setter and hitters. They're very new to practicing and playing with each other on both sides just for this season. It'll be common.
Deep serve, not even close. There from Alexa Earl. 18-18 to score. And for the Bobcats, a team that's undergone so much change, new players, new conference. So Sean Hewitt noting that what they're doing this year, they are embracing the unknown. And that's kept alive by Earl. Great play for the Texans. Blaine setting up Bennett in the middle. Despite that great rally by Tarleton State, the Bobcats come ahead and lead by 1.
That was a great swing by Bennett. She definitely utilized the fact that all of the Texans' defensive players went to chase that ball, and she ran a quick offense there.
Bobcats typically a tough team to beat here at home. 7 wins a year ago, 14 over the past 2 years combined. Blaine setting up Bennett once more, right to Earl. And Rice Lockett with an angle shot, and nobody home in that deep right corner.
Nobody home in the deep right corner, and nobody home on the net either. She had wide open space there to just swing away.
Typically, it's that first team to 20 that has the advantage, the first team into that proverbial red zone, but the first team to 20 will only have a 1-point lead here. Blaine, Bennett, and the first team to 20 is Texas State.
Bennett is in it to win it. She is getting after it on the net right now.
How long was that in your back pocket?
Just a few seconds ago, actually. I thought of it,
right.
yeah.
Audrey with some improvisation there. Blaine with a standing serve. Deep to Earl. Rice lock and angle shot again. This time, Perkow was there in that spot. Play of the net, and Bennett makes it. And the Bobcats have the first 2-point advantage here in the first set.
Bennett is the standout right now on the Bobcats net. She is aggressive, getting after it, not letting anything past her.
Either team has used a timeout here in the first set. That might change here the next point or so. Tough ball, and Texas State on top, 22-19. Just Jasmine Johnson used the timeout here.
Just a little extra push into that out-of-system set, which unfortunately went out of bounds on the Bobcat sideline.
And no timeout call. We play on. Blaine serves again. One-time Sun Belt Conference Setter of the Week last year. Shot for the right side. Now it's McKee. Good play made by the young Davis, the freshman for the Texans. And now they've hit the red zone as well.
Davis had a lot of energy right after that block. She turned around and was really hyping her team up. Lots of hand claps. Kind of put in a corner right now, 20-22, and they need to push out of it.
Fidel with the serve for the Texans. Deep to Benke. Lane bumps set. Benke the shots off the hand. She scores. Able to get the better of the reigning WAC freshman of the year, Alyssa Den. 23-20 Texas State.
That was a strong swing by Benke. Really smart placement, especially off of an out-of-system set. Those are sometimes tough to swing at.
Now McKee looking to set up. Set point. Point goes to Texas State. Somebody was in the net for Tarleton State.
It looked that way.
So now point set for the Bobcats, or set point. We're all shaking off the cobwebs here.
Absolutely.
And McKee serving for the 1-0 lead. Nice serve. Two Texans collide to save it. Blocked by Bennett. Her stamp all over the first set, and the Bobcats take a 1-0 lead.
What a strong way to finish that. I mean, Bennett is showing up here within this first set, and that was just a statement piece to finish it like that.
We get ready for the second. Bobcats on top of the Texans in this exhibition, 1-0 from Strand Arena. Well, presence, you see at every Texas State sporting event. That the university president, Kelly Dampus, who did moments ago what he's best known for, selfies, just took on one with a fan here at Strand Arena. Of course, instrumental, Audrey, into Texas State's joining the Pac-12 Conference. Of course, seeing so many of those with the leadership here in and around Texas State, very excited about the new conference and this new home.
Absolutely, and K-Damp is what the students call him, has been so instrumental in just this university as a whole, you know, its brand, you know, bringing it up to this new conference realignment. It's exciting.
So Texas State on top 1-0. They won the first set 25-20. If you recall, it was tied 19 apiece. The Bobcats, though, were able to close things out. Got a really impressive play from India Bennett to take the first set.
Absolutely. Bennett and Benke here on the Texas State side has very much been pushing 4 kills each of them right now for the offense. And the Texans are looking strong too. Like you said, it's been a back and forth. It just looked like Texas State had the momentum going into the end of that set.
And for the Bobcats, of their 25 points, 14 came on kills. For the Texans, they only got 7 kills in the first set, hitting at an 0.53 clip. Bobcats at 136. Texas State defensively, 23 digs, 2 blocks.
We knew this going into this match. After a conversation with Sean Hewitt, he had a lot of confidence in their back row defense going into this season. Just some strong back row defenders in the libero position as well. So we knew it was going to be hard for the Texans to come in here and get those kills, but they did a great job within the first half, but curious to see how they do with these later sets in the second halves of these.
And ready for the second sets with the Bobcats on top 1-0 in a match. It's going to go to 5 no matter what. And both teams trying to get in as much work as they can ahead of the start of the 2026 regular season. For the Texans, it's going to start at the Wildcat Classic in Tucson, Arizona. Matches against UC Santa Barbara, the Arizona Wildcats out of the Big 12, and Prairie View A&M. For the Bobcats, 2-match homestand to kick things off against Oklahoma and Louisiana. Fireworks are ready to start set 2. Free ball delivered by Texas State's. Back set, nice dig for the Bobcats. Janet Onira on the play for Texas State, but the Texans take the point and lead 1-0.
I love the defensive plays that we're seeing on each side too. Both liberos are just getting after it right now and not letting these balls hit the ground.
Goodell serving for Tarleton State. Into the net it goes. That is the 4th service error against Tarleton State. The Bobcats have committed 2 of their own.
It's always tough to miss a serve like that, especially after a huge kill when the momentum's on your side of the court.
Coaches preach about this all the time, the serve-receive game. You got to be strong in both. As we see Rice Lockett deliver a rocket down the left side. 2-1 Tarleton State.
Rice Lockett with a rocket of a swing there. I'm not sure if that one makes as much sense, Brant, but man, she's swinging hard on that left side.
Second new transfer out of Memphis, so from the American to the WAC and now the UAC, what the Texans now call home. The conference along with the likes of UTA, North Alabama, Eastern Kentucky, Central Arkansas, Abilene Christian, Little Rock, and now we're tied at 2. Well, there's just been so much conference realignment over the last several years. As we know, the Bobcats members now of the Pac-12 moving over from the Sun Belts. They joined a lot of former Mountain West Conference teams. The WAC is no more. The UAC absorbing a lot of those programs, also some of the Ohio Valley Conference. It's hard to keep up.
It really is, Brant. There's been so much conference realignment, but I'm looking forward to see what the Pac-12 has for this year. I think it's definitely going to be a battle of the states, the state schools with Oregon State, Washington State, Colorado State. It's going to be a really fun year for the states.
The only non-state team is Gonzaga.
True.
Yeah, the Bulldogs.
That's true.
A lot of teams, talking to Sean Hewitt, undergoing transition with personnel as this service there ties us at 3. Utah State, one of the headline teams in the Pac-12, lost all 6 starters from last year and their head coach. And it's going to be a magnified regular season. 9-team conference, but only 4 will qualify for the Pac-12 postseason.
Isn't that incredible? And they're doing it based off of the record of their first play of all the teams. So it's going to be very interesting to see who makes it into that postseason.
Blaine sets up Bennett. That combo has been working today for Texas State.
It has been working. That chemistry is 100% on lock on the Texas State side.
And now Bennett ready to serve for Texas State. Himself in the Southland Conference last year, Southeastern Louisiana. A serve into the net. Again, the service errors have told a bit of a story here. The two teams have combined for 8 through a little more than one set.
Both of these teams will definitely be working on serving in practice this next week following this match.
Now it's Minus. Gardner is one of the top setters in the state of Texas coming out of New Braunfels High School. Blaine with a back set for Benke. At the hands of Gwen. Texas State back on top.
What a strong line shot there from Benke. She saw that was wide open for her, and she just went after it. Bear was not on the line there, and she attacked.
5-4 Texas State. Benke with a right-handed serve. And that's today's off of Jackie McLean. 2-point lead for Texas State.
You can tell Texas State is really honing in on that left sideline over here in most of these rotations. It's their strategy.
Benke going after the freshman McLean again. Now McLean with a swing off the left side. Blaine setting up the middle. Houston, that time those two on the same page. Dump play successful for Minus. The freshman making a play there for the Texans to draw within 1.
I always love a setter getting aggressive on their end and taking the point in their control. They see it and it's wide open. Why not go for it?
First time we've seen either team attempt to dump today. And now Earl serving for Tarleton State. Play of the net kept alive by Blaine. Angle shot there from Onara. Down the line goes Davis. It's been a bit of a youth movement this year for the Texans. 4 incoming freshmen, and we've seen now Minus and Davis make back-to-back plays.
It's fun to see a freshman come in with this kind of passion and excitement within their very first college match.
Onara with an angle shot, got the best of Gwen. And Texas State back in front.
You've been seeing quite a bit of Onara here in the second set. She's been a key component here on the outside.
Freshman from Beaumont, went to Westbrook High School, where she was a district MVP in that high school, the same alma mater as Texas State Athletic Director Don Coryell.
That's a fun fact for you.
There's an ace for the freshman. 8-6 Texas State.
You know, we've been seeing quite a bit of service errors, but that also comes with service aggression. You know, there's going to be errors and there's going to be aces.
Onara down the line she goes. Back-to-back aces. Now Texas State serve game picking up.
She has a nasty serve. That is coming right above the net at a very quick speed. I would have a difficult time passing that serve.
Bobcats with 4 freshmen of their own this year. Onara that time into the net after the back-to-back aces gives a point right back. It's 9-7.
And it is exciting for someone like Onara, who's a freshman coming in here and showing up with aggressiveness right off the bat. Sometimes it's hard for freshmen to do that.
Addison Frank. Now it's Blaine, a dump play of her own, one-handed and taps it over to put the Bobcats back in front by 3.
Grant, I have always said this, as soon as one setter sets a dump, within the next 3 points, it's going to be another dump from the other side.
It's like breaking that proverbial seal. Hurricane, jump serve is over. Back set, shot from Davis, goes right back off of her. On a good defensive play by McKee. And in Texas State having to replace a lot defensively at the net over the offseason. Players like Bennett and McKee there will have a big impact in that part of their game this season. Hurricane with a serve to Rice Lockett. Quick setup at the middle, and Alyssa Den, whose name we haven't called a lot, makes the play there for Tarleton State.
Very true, and Alyssa Den was one of the highlight players going into this match on the offensive side, and maybe she's just getting a little warmed up here, and clearly in the second set she's getting after it.
11-8 Texas State. Fidel. Serve is over. Blaine back set, shot from Bennett off the right side. And right now the Bobcats are attacking the libero, letting Ray go in.
They really are, and I also want to talk about what a beautiful serve receive pass that was. They set them up perfectly for Bennett to go in and attack that.
Rice Lockett. The dig from Blaine. Out of system play coming. Rice Lockett on a tee. Hit that to Perrical, who makes the play. Now it's Benke. Bobcats thought there was a touch. But the rule is that there was none. And Benke with the error makes it a 3-point set.
You can tell that Benke was trying to get that touch. That's very much a strategy in volleyball, to go off hands and get that point for your team.
Bulk of this roster for the Texans from the state of Texas. Rice Lockett, though, from Louisville. Bennett. Blaine with a nice play there for Texas State. Long bump set from Perrical. McKee off the tape, diving play made by Gwen. Cross-court shot deep into the right corner. And Texas State will pull back in front by 4, leading 13-9.
You can just tell that McLean was off of the net there. It was an awkward position for her to swing, and it did go soaring out a little bit there on the Texas State side.
Here's Isabella Andrews, seeing her for the first time today. Sophomore from Schertz, located about 30 minutes south of San Marcos. She was a 3-year captain at Clemens High School. Brief delay. One of the assistants with the Texans visiting with the players. Andrews with a serve. And she goes after Gwen, leads to a Bobcat ace, racking those up here in the second.
Truly, Brant, what an exciting way for her to touch the court and get an ace right away. Again, we're going to be seeing a lot of different players, a lot of different lineups here in this exhibition match.
Largest lead for Texas State, but they give the point right back. It's been kind of feast or famine for the Bobcats in the serve game today.
Truly, when it comes to volleyball, you win and die based off of serve and serve receive. So it's always that first touch that determines who's going to win the match.
To win the serve. Down the line she goes to Andrews. Bennett's free ball now for the Texans. Rice Lockett saves it, though, and now they give a free ball right back. Andrews, Blaine, and Onara. Point Texas State, and the freshman continues to shine.
Onara used her tip there to her advantage, really relying on that Texan block and sending that out of bounds.
And Bennett will serve here for Texas State. And now the officials call for a media timeout. And we'll step aside. Texas State on top 1-0 and leading in the second by 5 over the visitors from Stephenville. And a look at Texas State's head coach, Sean Hewitt. 7th season as Bobcat head coach, a record of 134 wins and 59 losses. In conference play, very impressive in 6 Sunbelt seasons. Conference winning percentage of .823, 79 wins, only 17 losses in league play. See if that translates into Pac-12 play this year. Out of the timeout, Texans score the first point off a Bobcat touch, and it's 15-11.
So much of the strategy here on both sides is going off high hands on the outside swing. We're seeing that both on the Texas State and the Tarleton sideline.
All right, so we are on the Pac-12's official YouTube channel for coverage of today's exhibition match. And there is a live chat throughout the broadcast as well. We're happy to participate, answer any questions. I've got my laptop pulled up right here, so any questions you have for myself or Audrey, fire away.
What a fun engagement piece. Yeah, any questions about volleyball, about the programs in general, we're happy to answer them.
16-11. Bobcats on top as Benke serves. Oh, and a nice serve leads to another ace for Texas State.
Again, this has just been such a service game. It's really determining the outcome right now as Texas State is up 17-11 against Tarleton State.
And the Bobcats scoring off the serve again. All Texas State's here in the second. It was a very competitive first set, but the Bobcats right now in the second are pulling away.
They truly are. You can tell all the momentum right now is on the Bobcats side of the court, and they are just running with it.
All that being said, the Bobcats with a service error. The Texans so far in the match only with 13 kills. The Bobcats have 20, hitting at an .096 clip. But now Tarleton State serving after the service error. And here is Alexa Earl for the Texans. Jump serve with the right hand. Deep to the back row. Blaine with the back sets. Bennett, or beg your pardon, that was Naratenko with the shot. There's a nice dig in the back row for Texas State, courtesy of Andrews, but the shot from the back row too deep. 5 points. Bobcat lead now with service coming up for the Texans.
It was too deep, but I'm really liking how Texas State is still utilizing their back row attack right now with Benke. Man, if you are Tarleton State right now, you do not want to be missing serves like that, especially with the deficit that they're in terms of the score. You want to kind of play it a little safer and make sure that you're getting your serves over the net.
Good serve down the line from Onaraz. Looked really strong here in the seconds. And the Texans showing some life here with the Bobcats nearing the red zone. It's a 5-point game once again.
I'm really impressed right here by freshman Davis. You know, finding that seam within the block. She's attacking. She's a freshman, but she is not playing like a freshman.
Addison Frank with a big knee brace on her right leg. And the Texans reached over the net. Rice Lockett got that hand over the tape. And the Bobcats now in that proverbial red zone.
You unfortunately cannot do that while the other team is trying to set the ball. That will be a point for the Texas State Bobcats.
There's Jasmine Johnson, second year as Texans head coach. Deep serve. Nice play in the middle, sniffed out by Bennett. Rice Lockett with a shot, goes off the hands of Blaine, who now tries to set up Bennett, but trying to navigate through traffic there, couldn't get to the ball in time. And it is a 5-point game once again.
Again, just a misconnect there in the middle. We've said this before, it's the first game. They're trying to work on the chemistry, and you can see that they're talking it out right now between points.
And here is Fidel. Her right-handed serve is over deep to Cameron Kynes. First-year transfer from ULM. That ball hits the antenna from Andrews. And the Texans creeping back into it. The lead is down to 4.
There wasn't much there that Andrews could do with the ball. The set was very much on the outside of the antenna, so she tried her best to keep it in. It looks like there's some discussion on the court here with our down ref. Maybe a challenge? There's a challenge.
And a challenge coming up. As Jasmine Johnson talks to her team, we've seen one successful, one unsuccessful challenge here in the match. The successful.
And sometimes, Brant, coaches use challenges kind of as an extra timeout so they can go back, talk with their team, discuss what's working and what's not working. I didn't get a clear view here of what she is challenging, but it might be a strategy there on her end.
So again, we have a live chat going on the Pac-12's official YouTube channel. We're just asking a question about the returning production, the transfers. As you see, it's a very quick review process, and the call on the court stands. So, for the Texans, they do have a lot of talent back from a year ago. Their top offensive player, Madison Rice-Lockett, their top middle blocker, Alyssa Dinn, they are all back from last season. The libero, Letty Ray Gawain, back, and a lot of really talented freshmen coming in for the Texans this year. Players like Onitha Davis and Kingsley Midas, we both seen make plays so far. A player we haven't seen for the Texans today is a Bobcat scorer, courtesy of Bennett. Aubrey Atchison, a first-year transfer from Liberty, who had a very good year for the Flames a year ago. That's Tarleton State. For Texas State, in terms of returning production, the most notable players would be Brooke Benke and Anna Blaine, but they lost a ton from a season ago. We've gone through that. Maggie Walsh, Bailey Hanner, Samantha Wunsch, Jed DeFree, the most notable losses from the last season. But in terms of new players, we've seen them already. The libero, Jasmine Purikow from Robert Morris, she looks tremendous defensively in the back row. And India Bennett from Southeast Louisiana has been a force at the front for Texas State.
I think we're going to see a lot of those two players going into this season. And, in the back row, Purikow, it's hard to get a ball underneath her.
Last shot from Benke for Texas State. Backset just got over. Ball stays alive. Blaine setting up Benke. Cross-court shot. Gawain on the play from her knees. And there is Rice-Lockett from behind the 3-meter line. Tucks it in. And the Texans draw to within 5.
Rice-Lockett is not only strong in the front row, but we're seeing pieces of her in the back row too with the attack.
And of course, for the Bobcats, some of the other new blood, some of the freshmen we've talked about, namely Janet Onara from Beaumont Westbrook. Through to Isabella Andrews, who gets it back from Blaine. Off the tape, it scores for the Texans. Jackie McLean and Tarleton State staying alive here in the second.
They're making a run for a comeback right now, and you can tell within their energy. My goodness, Jackie McLean got energized after that block.
22-18, Bobcats. Texans trying to rally here in the seconds. Rice-Lockett deep serve to Purikow. Now it's Bennett with a shot from her knees. Gawain again. McLean down the line. And the Bobcats can't get it back over. The lead is down to 3.
I love volleyball so much because you can it's such a momentum-based sport. You could have such a large lead at one point in the set, and then another team can come back just like that.
Timeout, Texas State. First called timeout from either team here in the second. Got another question on the chat. Has Coco made an appearance yet? For those who don't know, Boco's long-lost sister has now made her way to St. Marcus. Well, there is Boco, his sister Coco, not here today, but we expect to see a lot of her. Volleyball matches, football games, basketball games, you name it. And she made her official debut at a very special event last week.
Well, as long as Coco is as good as a dancer as Boco is, I'm looking forward to seeing her at these matches. He's got the moves.
So, I mean, you think about, what's happened over the summer. Texas State on July 1 at midnight officially becoming members of the Pac-12 Conference. The introduction of Coco and also the addition of a new women's program at Texas State. Women's gymnastics will start competing at the Division I level in 2028. New coaches in place. Now it's all about building a program, recruiting, and in 2 years' time, they'll start competing here in San Marcos.
What an exciting time for Texas State University. Just the growth that this university has seen over the past few years has just been so incredible to witness.
Out of the call timeout by the Bobcats. Texans on a 4-0 scoring run, lead once at 7, down to 3. Now on the verge of hitting the red zone themselves. Nice Lockets. Hit that to Andrews. Blaine back to Andrews. Able to score. And so Texas State right away responding out of the timeout.
They really are. I feel like that's a good, strong message that Sean Hewitt, head coach, just gave them. I'm sure he's just saying, calm down, be yourself, and finish this strong.
Andrews. Going after Gawain. Tough play. Kept alive by Paracal. Play in the middle. Paracal, another dig. Kept alive, that time by Bennett. Tough play works for the Texans. Fidel for Tarelton State. Now within 3.
What a brilliant placement from Fidel. But man, Paracal over here on the libero side of Texas State. It's hard to get one down next to her.
Yeah, she has been a vacuum cleaner in the back row for the Bobcats. Blaine setting up Benke. Flies in with a swing off the hands, and it's set point for Texas State.
Set point for Texas State. You can tell the aggressiveness is very much strong on their side of the net. They're going to just swing hard at this next one, too.
Bobcats looking to take a 2-0 advantage, but again, we are playing 5 today no matter what. And here is a serve from Carpenter. Play in the middle. Whistle blows. Point Texas State. And the Bobcats take a 2-0 lead over Tarleton State.
For most of that set, the Bobcats were very much in control. Right out of the bat, I mean, they were swinging aggressively. It was hard to get balls up. I like the fight from Tarleton State, though.
I'm sure Kelly Dampus likes it as well, and more importantly, with his program on top of Tarleton State, 2-0. Intermission is hits here in San Marcos with the Bobcats on top by a pair. And welcome back to Strand Arena. Texas State on top of this exhibition, 2-0 over the Tarleton State Texans. Brent Freeman alongside Audrey Buchanan. Bobcats taking that second set 25-20. They won by identical 25-20 scores. And so, Audrey, you look back at the first two sets and going through some of the highlights for these two teams. What did you take away overall from these two in the first two sets?
Yeah, absolutely. I think on the Texas State side, Brooke Bentke and Bennett on the pins have been phenomenal. Bennett on middle, but they have been so aggressive and such key players here on the Texas State side. And then over here on the Texans side, I think they just need to serve a little bit harder. It seems like Texas State is very much, not out of system, and they just need to be a little bit more aggressive in their serving, get Texas State out of system, and then make their plays on their offense.
Now, looking back at some of the highlights again for the first two sets for the Texans, the Bobcats, Texas State again on top 25-20. They won by those two scores each the first two sets. You mentioned India Bennett. She was all over the court for Texas State.
She really was, from a blocking sense and also from an offensive sense. She has been terminating on all angles right now. And then from the Texans side, I mean, we have a strong arm right here with Rice Lockett on the outside. She is putting it down for them. I'd like to see a little bit more balance, though, from the Texans going into this third set, just within their offense in general.
So, Texas State on top 2-0 as we get ready for the third. Taking a look at some of the numbers here in the first sets, for the first two sets. Texas State again leading 2-0, but again not in position for a three-set sweep as these two teams are playing 5 sets, all again in an effort to prepare for the upcoming season. They want to get as much live game action against somebody in a different colored jersey as much as they can.
I think what's really neat here, Brant, is this is very much the feel of a live game. I mean, we have the cheerleaders over here behind. We have Boko somewhere around here dancing, and a very strong crowd, too. So they're getting the full effect of what a real game day is going to be like for them.
In terms of adjustments for the two teams moving forward here in the third set and beyond, what do the Texans need to do to rebound? What do the Bobcats need to do to keep this advantage going?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said earlier, I think the Texans need to serve more aggressive and make sure they're getting their serves in and over. I think they really just need to mess up the Texas State offense a little bit more here in that sense. And with Texas State, I mean, they're looking strong. Of course, there's some setter-hitter misconnects that they need to work through, but we're seeing some new players, too, on the court, so I'm excited to see what they have in them.
Jasmine Johnson making her adjustments, writing some things down. The second-year head coach for the Texans. Really proud of what they accomplished a year ago as the team had a 9-win improvement from the year prior. But knows that there's still more to be done. The Believer program now is learning how to win matches. We asked her, what is the strength? What do you perceive the strength of this year's team to be? Is it going to be your front line, your back row defense, your outside hitters? She didn't get into position groups or nuances of the game. She basically said it's the fight and competitive spirit within this team that's going to carry them throughout the year.
Absolutely, and I think culture is such a huge piece. When you come in as a new head coach, you're trying to bring in a brand new culture, a brand new feel and foundation that will hopefully last for years to come. And we're seeing that now with a lot of communication over here on the Texans side. They have fun little handshakes that they're doing, just, factoring that into this gameplay.
Bobcats with the goal of working in every healthy player today. Izzy Chauvin, you see her right there. Freshman from Galena, Ohio. You don't see the Bobcats recruit a lot outside of the state of Texas when it comes to incoming freshmen. Exception here in Chauvin from Olentangy Orange High School in Ohio. Third set's underway. And this time jump there by Anura. And the point goes to Tarleton State. Ryan Freeman alongside Audrey Buchanan. Those who followed college volleyball before may have known her as Audrey Tuttle as a player at Texas Tech. Congratulations to Audrey, got married in Italy over the summer.
I did. Got married in Italy alongside closest family and friends. It was a beautiful ceremony.
1-0 Texans. Speaking of different last names, Kaylin Roble on the last touch for Texas State, wearing the number 16. You may have known her as Kaylin Emmerling. Has now taken the last name of her stepfather, a player who's had a history of shoulder injuries. Bobcats are hoping to get a healthy year out of her this year. 2-0 Tarleton State. Serve to Honora. Gets it back. Free ball for Texas State. Now in the libero jerseys, Karis Carpenter. There's a nice shot from Allie Adair. Adair hoping to get more opportunities this season. Plays like that, she's going to earn some.
Adair has also been playing such a foundational piece in the sense of leadership. She's very much a vocal leader. She's been a strong foundation for this culture as well the past few years.
Remember, in that second set, we saw a lot of tremendous serves from Honora. And there's another one. Lara unable to handle it for Tarleton State.
I get excited when Honora is back here behind the service line because you know it is going to be a spicy serve. She put some heat behind that for sure.
Early on in the season, the coaching staff is trying to establish some of your serving specialists, and right on cue, Honora with the service there, but she's maybe throwing her name into the hat with the way she served today.
Like we've said earlier, serving can absolutely determine a game in volleyball. You have to have strong serving specialists to come in there and get the job done.
Service over to Finley. Haven't seen her since the first set. And there's a nice shot from Roble off the right side. The Jew out of Spring. Grand Oaks High School, where she won a state championship here in the state of Texas. 3-time first team all-district. Good angle shot there. We're now knotted at 3. Adair with a serve. Quick setup at the middle and a nice shot from Madison Frank. 4-3 Texans.
What a great cutback shot from Frank. Really aiming at that setter position on the Texas State side. That was a strong swing.
Frank, second team all whack a year ago, sending a career high in kills. Serves that into the twine. Knotted again at 4. The two teams have combined for 14 service errors so far today, but the Bobcats have 11 aces as well.
Serving's been a strong piece. It looks like the Bobcats here are running a 6-2, which is really exciting to see. A 6-2 is typically when you play two different setters and they're both playing in the back row and get rotated in.
They did at times. Last year's Andrews makes the play. Of course, once Dylan Gilkey got healthy, the Bobcats had two very serviceable setters. But it's not a program that's run a lot of 6-2 in its history. You think about the 5 years prior, or the 6 seasons prior, Ryan Torres took over for Emily DeWalt, who is a 5-year setter, arguably the greatest setter in the history of the Sun Belt Conference. So this is not a team that's played a lot of 5-2. It's been typically the 6-1.
Absolutely, and typically in volleyball, you see a lot more of that 5-1 just across the board, across NCAA. But I like a 6-2 option. It means you have, strong hitters in the right front instead of just having your setter there. You have stronger blockers sometimes too, and you get a little taste of two different setters.
Too strong from Finley. 6-5, Tarleton State the lead. Back to serve for the Texans. First-year transfer out of UTEP, Alexis Massey. Grew up not far from El Paso in Las Cruces. Part of a record-setting year last year for the Miners. Team that went 25-5, 15-1 in Conference USA play. Denied by the Texans. Blaine, back set, Andrews, the shots. 6-6 as Isabella Andrews scores for Texas State.
I like what we're seeing out of Andrews right now. She seems calm and control with her play. She doesn't seem to have nerves out here, just pure excitement.
And out of serve for the Bobcats, Amina Campbell, senior from Lawndale, California. Executive transfer from Cal State Fullerton. Didn't play much for the Bobcats a year ago after a productive tenure with the Titans. And there's a Titanic shot from Onitha Davis. And the young freshman continued to shine for the Texans.
I'm impressed by Davis and the excitement she's bringing to the team. You can tell when Tarleton State wins the point because it is loud in here.
There's a good contingent of Texan fans. Stephenville is about 4 hours outside of San Marcos, located just outside the greater DFW area. Northern part of the state. Shot off the tape. Blaine, now Carpenter, shot from Andrews off the hands. Texans keep it alive. Free ball here for Texas State. Back set, Andrews with shots. She scores again.
Great play by Andrews there. You always want to do that on a free ball. You want to terminate right away just to get the ball, just to get the point on your side. But it looked like the block on Tarleton State was just a little bit back, and she took advantage of that.
Two programs in the state of Texas, you'd think there'd be more of a history between the two, but I think, again, they've only played each other in the regular season 7 times. Bobcats winning 5 of them, 2 others resulting in ties. And really that goes back to Texas State's Division II days. The Texans didn't join the Division I ranks until 6 years ago, 2020. This season only their 7th at the Division I level. Service there for the Texans, tied again at 8.
Texas is such a strong volleyball state across the board. I mean, Texas A&M winning the championship last year for NCAA. Texas is definitely the volleyball state.
Longhorns not far removed from a national championship as well. We were asked a question to the chat earlier, is Texas the home of the most Division I programs in the country? I have to do that research. I think California may have more. Shot deep in the left corner. Bobcats on top here in the third, courtesy of Kaylin Roble.
This is a tight matchup, though. I mean, we're seeing major swings on both sides of the net, and yeah, it's only up by 1 right now for the Bobcats.
But I will say the club volleyball scene here in Texas, arguably the best in the country. So much of the Division I talent you see around the nation, players recruited out of the state of Texas from club volleyball.
Absolutely. I grew up actually in the Houston area and went to Houston Skyline, and many of our Texas State athletes actually from Houston Skyline. But there's so many in Houston and Dallas and Austin. I mean, across the board, they're constantly competing at the highest level.
Minus cross-court serve. Kept alive for just a moment by Chauvin. That was a tough serve reception from Onura, leading to that Texan point. Now serving with the lead.
This is what I said earlier, too. The Texans just need to come in here and start serving a little bit more aggressive and making it harder for Texas State to pass.
Another tough serve reception for Onura. Ball may have wound up out of bounds. Played, though, by Tarleton State. Chauvin sets up Onura. Nice shot from the middle. That's Frank for the Texans. Now 2-point lead.
Man, what a strong cutback shot there. I mean, she had wide open net, only 1 blocker in front of her, and she took advantage.
We were just asked another question on the YouTube chat. Will Texas State staff start to recruit the state of California now that they'll be making more and more trips there in conference play? And I would assume yes, and there is a ton of volleyball talent there to be had as well. But likewise, we mentioned just how rich volleyball talent is here in Texas. All of those Pacific and Mountain Time Zone programs in this new conference, they're enjoying the fact that Texas State's a part of it because now they can come to Texas and recruit players.
Very true. The travel's going to be exciting for Texas State this year. They're going to be heading a lot to the West Coast.
12-10, Onura scores for Texas State. Leading 2-0 Tarleton State. Now Onura serves here for the Bobcats. Harris Carpenter back in as libero. Britton Finley is also rotated back in. Onura with a deep serve to the back line. Jump set, shot, deep beyond the back right corner, but there was a touch for Texas State's 13-10 Texans.
You can tell that they were confident with that touch right when it happened. It looked like it was going out, but barely nicked the Texas State block.
Texans in their first year in the UAC. Finley. Free ball delivered to the Texans. Shot from the right side off the tape. Point Texas State. And a correction, by the way, it's Janet Honora, freshman from Beaumont. The pronunciation of her last name, Honora. Apologize about that. Appreciate the Honora family for notifying us on the chat. That shot lands in for the Texans, courtesy of Brianna Peterson, senior from El Paso. 3-point lead once again.
It's been really exciting to see all the new players and faces just within this third set. You can tell that these coaches are experimenting here and seeing how deep their benches are. This is a fun one.
Set up at the middle. Texans able to get it back over. Finley down the line she goes. Able to keep it in play. Cuts the Texan lead to 2.
What a fun swing there by Finley, but man, this is competitive. What great saves on the Texans side from that last point too.
We've been asked another question about the non-conference schedule for Texas State. And a big reason behind the scheduling, and a lot of it is teams in the state of Texas, it's a save on travel, as the travel is picking up quite a bit in the Pac-12, traveling to the West Coast. Not only is it longer distances, it's also crossing 2 time zones as well. And so just trying to save on wear and tear of the players' bodies and how much travel can wear on a student athlete. Big reason behind the non-conference scheduling formula this season.
Absolutely, and there's so much competitiveness just here in the state of Texas. I mean, there's enough to get you geared up for a strong Pac-12 season.
Andrews, nice shot for Texas State. 13-13 is the Texan lead. And a blame for the Bobcats. A year ago, averaged more than 7 assists per set, led the team with over 40 6 times last season. Season high of 45 assists for the Bobcats. Nice diving play made by Campbell. Shot for the right side. Good effort by Carpenter, but into the seats. Back to a 3-point Texan lead.
What a strong swing there by Massey, but man, this Texas State team is very scrappy right now. That was a strong line shot though.
Just got to look at Taylon Biggs for the Texans, junior from Fort Worth, former Sun Belt player at Old Dominion. Server to the nets, and the two teams now 17 combined service errors. Throw in the errors and the aces. 31 points have been scored off serves in this game.
That is over an entire set's worth of a game. That's an incredible number.
Jump set. Got the lie by Campbell. Carpenter out of system play. Andrews off the antenna. 17-14 Tarleton State.
And that was just a tough one to swing at. Out of system setting is a tough one. I remember a lot of practices back in college. We did a lot of out of system setting practice.
Texan program that had 4 all-conference selections last year, including the WAC Freshman of the Year. Looking to claim their first set here in this exhibition. Back set for Andrews. Dug out by Tarleton State. Carpenter, nice dig for the Bobcats. Adair too strong. 4-point advantage for Tarleton State. It looks like Sean Hewitt is going to call for time. Timeout taken by the Bobcats, who will step aside. Texas State on top 2-0, but the Texans leading in the third here at Strand Arena. And welcome back to Strand Arena. Brain Freeman alongside Audrey Buchanan for exhibition volleyball. 2-0 Texas State, but the Texans out of Tarelton State leading in the third by 4 out of the timeout from the Bobcats. Tough play, Honora able to push it over. Cross-court setup, shots off the right hand of Campbell. Linnea Lara scoring for the Texans and now a 5-point lead.
The Texans are feeling really good right now. We talked about this a lot, but they have the momentum, the energy, and they are just running with it.
They're a senior from Anthony, New Mexico, one of the top offensive scorers for the Texans last year, and Adair hammers it down for Texas State. One of the better swings she's had this afternoon.
That was an important swing for Texas State to get that. They need to ride on this momentum. It was clean, too. She knew exactly where she was going with that one.
Lead down to 4. Bobcats been playing catch-up for majority here at the third. Jump serve from Andrews. Hit that to Lara. Play at the middle. Adair back-to-back plays for Texas State. And the lead is down to 3.
I love seeing this play out of Adair. I know she's chomping at the bit here to, have a strong presence on this team and on this court, and this is exciting to see.
Natasha, longtime basketball coach, currently an assistant at Syracuse, and Mom is proud right now as Adair comes through with another block. She scored the last 3 for Texas State, and the Texan lead down to 2.
3 in a row from Adair. She is on fire right now. Man, I would just keep going to her if I was Texas State.
3-0 run, all courtesy of Adair. Serve just tickled off the tape. Cross-court shot lands in for Biggs, the former ODU Monarch. And now the Texans in the red zone.
Biggs had a big seam within the block.
(2017). Tarleton State the lead. Again, the Bobcats not in a position to sweep, but these two are playing 5 today. No matter what. Kingsley minus the New Braunfels native. Finley, nice diving play. It's tapped over by Roble. Lara just didn't get enough off that back foot.
That was a tough swing there by Lara. You could tell her timing was a little bit off, and she was very much in front of the ball. Rough contact.
The serve coming from Honora. A running start. Sharp serve records another ace. And for Honora, she's now 4 aces this afternoon.
Man, that is a nasty swing. I know I keep saying this, but I love seeing her behind the service line.
Now looking for the tie for Bobcat team. Once down 5. Another laser. Lara hit that to Honora. Kept alive for just a moment by Chauvin, but stepped over the line of the process.
You are not allowed to step over that line in the game of volleyball. It can result in a pretty dangerous situation and will definitely result in a point for the other team.
Linnea Lara, way over the back line. And the Bobcats again in position to tie. Each team down 9 service errors this afternoon. Adair to Lara. Put that on a tee for Tenko. Now tied at 21.
Bring out the candles. That is happy birthday for you. Man, we're celebrating.
Tenko, sophomore from Austin. She was a third-team All-American at high school. Coach Hewitt noting just how much improvement she has shown. And now Texas State, for the first time leading in the third, 22-21.
You can feel that shift here with the fan base in the gym with the lead.
Another 3-0 scoring run for the Bobcats. Jump sets and a nice swing from Peterson.
What I'm really liking on both sides right now, I know it's tight and there's 3 points left before a team gets 25, but they are swinging away. There is no timidness right now on this court.
Peterson, a very good defender at the net for the Texans last year. Shulman just kept it alive for Roble. Back set, Peterson again. 23-22 Texans.
That was a beautiful back set by Minus. I mean, she was practically in the back half of the court and somehow made it to that right side.
And that was a very animated applause there from Jasmine Johnson. Pleased with the effort from her second-year transfer from Miami of Ohio. Oh, miscommunication. Ball lands in the campfire. 24-22, and now it's set point for Tarleton State. And Coach Hewitt calls for time.
Man, just a disconnect there on the chemistry of the court, and that's always a tough one. It kind of makes me cringe when there's a miscommunication like that, and the Texans are rolling with it.
So timeout taken by the Bobcats. Their second here in the third. Tarleton State looking to get on the board. Texans again will have a loaded non-conference schedule when the regular season starts. Second match of the year against Arizona, a team receiving votes in the preseason top 25. They also have matches coming on the road at Texas Tech and against West Virginia, so 3 against the Big 12 for the Texans before UAC play begins. For the Bobcats, you look at their schedule, and the lone P4 they're playing is, or to beg your pardon, they're playing 2. Oklahoma in the opener here at home August 28th, and then in Houston playing the Houston Cougars on September the 18th.
There's definitely a lot of Texas matches just in the state of Texas here for the Bobcats. But like we've said, it's going to be quite competitive for them. It's exciting, too, because there's always battles with recruiting in the state of Texas, too.
In fact, the Bobcats don't leave their home state until their first Pac-12 road match in Corvallis against the Beavers on October 1st.
Looks like cheerleading's in the building today, cheering them on.
But those trio must have the day off.
True, true, because we have the uniformed ones down here.
Out of the timeout, set point for the Texans. Shulman for Finley. Was there a touch? No, no touch against the Texans. And they're on the board after 3. It's 2-1 Texas State.
That was an exciting third set. We're seeing a little bit of different players from Texas State, but curious to see what they bring with the momentum from the Texans side into this fourth.
Fourth set coming up. You're watching Exhibition Volleyball on the Pac-12's official YouTube channel. Back after this from San Marcos. And welcome back to Strand Arena. Talked about the Texan fans that made their way from Stephenville. A few of them peppered throughout Strand Arena here. Of course, the home Bobcat fans as well. Here in attendance for this exhibition clash between Tarleton State and Texas State. Bobcats on top 2-1 as we get ready for the fourth.
Even for an exhibition match, man, volleyball is lively in San Marcos. It is a very popular sport. People get into it. Even the president is here for the university. It's a great showing today.
It's been a flag-bearing sport for a long time. Here in San Marcos, Texas State volleyball has been the epitome of success. Really, you're going back more than 4 decades since the start of the tenure for Karen Chisholm, which began back in 1980. She coached for 40 seasons, over 900 wins, one of the greatest Division I head coaches of all time. One of her assistants, Sean Hewitt, who then took over for Coach Chisholm following the end of the 2019 year that saw the Bobcats win the Sun Belt Conference tournament title, a program that has won 22 conference titles all time. They've been to the NCAA tournament 14 times. 3 of those trips under the watch of Sean Hewitt, including going to the tournament as an at-large team. Here you see all the banners here at Strand Arena signifying the success of this program dating back to the 1980s. Hopefully that success translates into the Pac-12, a conference that Coach Hewitt believes can be a multi-bid league. A lot of good RPIs for the Pac-12 members a year ago. Many within the top 100 RPI. Talked about the Bobcats as an at-large not long ago.
Speaking with Sean Hewitt yesterday, he said very much going into this season, obviously wanting to keep a top 50, top 40 within the NCAA, but always going to that NCAA tournament is a goal here for the Texas State Bobcats.
And they've talked about it too. They have a goal of the next step is to make the Sweet 16.
Absolutely.
They have won an NCAA tournament match before. Now they want to get to the next level.
It can absolutely be done.
Back set, and there's an impressive looking swing from Peterson, but too strong. And the Bobcats the early 1-0 lead.
Peterson right now with a 545 hitting percentage. She is very effective on the nets. I'm sure Tarleton State will keep feeding her in the front row.
Yeah, 6 kills and 11 swings so far for Peterson. Bobcats another ace, 13th today.
Been exciting seeing the different liberos and different defensive plays here on the Texas State side. Again, just trying out all players here.
Percow serving for Texas State. Another ace for her, back-to-back. Little Michael Jordan shoulder shrug there for Percow. Playing her 3rd program in 5 years. First 2 seasons played at Towson. Last 2 years, Robert Morris. Now the Pac-12 with Texas State. Nice Lockett with a swing for the Texans. Now from the middle, it's Den. Back set, Peterson, cross court. Sniffed out by Kimes. The ULM transfer, cross court shot from Andrews. Long rally here, Rice Lockett. And the point goes to Texas State.
It looks like number 21, Rice Lockett, hit that antenna there on her sideline. As a rule in volleyball, you cannot hit the antenna at any part of the net or above.
So a 4-0, or no, at this point must be going to the Texans. They must have reversed the call. They have service here, so it should be 3-1. That, or they have the ball on the wrong side of the floor. The point was clearly awarded to Texas State, but the ball is in the hands of Madison Rice Lockett here. You don't serve unless you score the last point. And there's a challenge. Challenge coming up for Tarleton State.
And each coach is given one challenge during a set. Two challenges during the set.
So challenging in out here. Point was awarded to Texas State, so we'll see if this stands or is reversed. Bobcats with 8 newcomers in this year's team, 4 of them Division I transfers. 2 of those excellent defenders, India Bennett rather, their ability to make plays at the nets, and Jasmine Perricow from the back row. 6 nationally in digs per set. Once recorded 38 last year. Robert Morris for the Colonials was 18 digs shy of 600 last year, top 40 in the country in that category.
It's hard to tell if that hit the antenna or not there. That is what seems to be up for debate in this challenge.
Down official still looking things over here. Anna Draker. Carlos Temez, our up official today. Jasmine Johnson looks on. Been to this building a few times before with their time as an assistant at Louisiana. Program the Bobcats will face opening weekend. Sun Belt rematch on August 30th. It is the only Sun Belt team the Bobcats are playing this year. Their Pac-12 opener, first ever Pac-12 match, September 24th against Utah State. Part of a 2-match conference homestand against the Aggies and then against the Rams out of Colorado State. Anna Draker now communicating with the up official Carlos Temez. And the call is overturned. Point, Tarleton State. So, Texans on the board as Rice Lockett serves for the Texans. Benke with the shot for Texas State. And Dan, nice play for the middle, shot off the tape and lands in to cut the lead down to 1.
Benke is back in for this set. Set 1. She had such a strong force here for Texas State, but looking forward to see what she does here in set 4.
Rice Lockett down the line, hit that to Andrews. Houston too deep on that shot, attacking here Texas State. And a 3-point scoring run here for Tarleton State. And for the Bobcats, 18 attacking errors this afternoon. Free ball from Benke. Dan with a shot dug out by Perricow. Andrews, cross-court shot. The win, the dig there for the Texans. Off Chauvin into the cheerleaders it goes. 4 in a row scored by Tarleton State.
Love to see the aggressiveness trying to go after that ball, but it kind of just looks like Texas State is a little bit out of sorts right now. Their ball control is a little off.
Service got over to Andrews. Chauvin back for Andrews. Shot blocks. 5-point run and now a 2-point lead for Tarleton State.
Strong block there by Alyssa Den. She got her hands over the net on that one. Great lineup too in the double block.
Texans were down 2-0 in sets, 1 the third. Early rally going here in the 4th. Out of system play. Chauvin with a free ball for the Texans off the back set. Peterson delivers a missile for the Texans. And they've got all the momentum right now, leading by 3.
And Peterson's swing right now on the right side is so strong, and she is finding all the holes within that block.
Another serve for Rice Lockett. Rally has happened behind her serves. Cross court for Andrews. Dump play lands in. Fidel, her second dump of the day. 7-3 Tarleton State.
That is what I call a high IQ volleyball play right there. To send the ball over on the second possession right into deep court, that was brilliant.
Substitution for Sean Hewitt. Ashley Houston to the bench. Allie Adair back in for Texas State. Andrews finally aims a scoring run for the Texans.
That was a great high swing there from Andrews, aiming for that cross-court shot. Again, those are hard sometimes to hit the out-of-system set, and she did that perfectly.
Serve from Binke. Service there. 10th today for Texas State. So they have 14 aces, but they've also given 10 points right back on errors. Both teams will be a point of emphasis for them before the regular season starts, shoring up the serve game.
Absolutely. Like I've said, they're going to be practicing a lot with serving on both sides over the next few weeks.
Andrews too strong. Was there, I beg your pardon. Point Texas State. Back to a 3-point lead as Kimes comes out and Peyton McKee back in for the Bobcats. And now Andrews back to serve for Texas State. Not a lot of playing time last year as a freshman, only 14 matches. Serve that to Rice Lockett. Free ball now for the Bobcats. McKee off the hands, kept alive for just a moment as Anitha Davis capitalizes for the Texans for a 4-point lead.
Davis, again, the freshman for the Texans, not playing like a freshman right now. She is taking total dominance right now on the net.
Alexis Massey, the former UTEP Miner, serves that to Andrews. Shulman back set Adair, who has been a big-time contributor off the bench for Texas State this afternoon.
That was such a beautiful play from the perfect pass, perfect set, and then Adair with the perfect slam down.
Serve from Adair. Shot in the middle. Bennett with a block for Texas State. And again, and the lead down to 2. Back-to-back points here for Texas State.
Just could not quite hit that over the net. It just barely hit that tape. No touch on the block.
Play at the middle. Adair caught backpedaling, couldn't make the dig for Texas State. And the Texans into double figures here in the fourth. Looking to tie things up after once trailing 2-0. Alexa Earl, little used player last year in her first year from Old Dominion. Tapped over by Bennett. Rice Lockett with a great shot into the face of Chauvin. 11-7 Tarleton State.
Rice Lockett does a great job of swinging away when she has wide open net. She has a very clear view of the blockers in front of her and knows when to swing hard.
Chauvin, jump set, McKee. Off the top of the head of Davis. Peyton McKee for Texas State. That's her second kill of the afternoon in 14 attempts.
Davis could not quite bring those hands right in front of her, resulting in the headshot.
Bobcats led in kills today by Brooke Binke as 8. Texans, Brianna Peterson and Rice Lockett, both with 8 themselves. Play the net for Texas State. Bobcats clawed within 2.
That was a fun play there by Peyton McKee. She has some good court awareness here on the block. And then covering herself after the block, too.
Serve from the setter, Chauvin. Rice Lockett with the shots into the nets. Bobcats a rally here. One's down 4, lead down to 1.
Again, she's swinging so hard, but I think she just had contact with that ball a little late.
Line drive serve from Shulman this time. Bryce Lockett out of system. Binke off the fingertips, and we're tied at 11.
Brilliant play there by Binke, using again the fingertips, the tip play, but also an aggressive set here from number 12, Pirikau from the out of system.
John Hewitt believing that Pirikau, one of the more talented liberos the Bobcats have had in quite some time. Perhaps since he took over as the head coach of the program back in 2020. The lefty. Serve is over. Deep shot from Biggs. McKee off the hand, scores once more. 5-0 run, Texas State. And on top, 12-11.
I'm really liking McKee here on the outside. You can tell she is also playing with a high volleyball IQ, using hitter hands, using her shot placement. She's playing very smart right now.
Shulman off the back set, Biggs ends the run. And for Jalen Biggs, her 5th kill.
Bennett and McKee just could not quite bring that block together quick enough, and it went straight through.
Leaders so far this afternoon. Talked about the kills leaders. And Diggs, Letty Ray Guerin, 18 for the Texans. Pirikau, 14 for Texas State. Biggs, another shot. Lands in for another point. And the Texans back on top.
Biggs has been a fun one to watch too here on the right side. She's been getting quite a few balls sent her way, and she definitely terminated in the back half court there.
Texans a 2-setter system today. Minus 11 assists. Fidel with 12. Massey up to 9 for Tarleton State. Binke off the left side. Now 1 kill shy of a double-figure afternoon.
I'm really liking Binke here on the outside. Again, we've spoken about her before as being a huge leader here for this Texas Bobcat squad, especially here in the preseason.
Well, actually for Binke, that was her 10th, the first player today to hit double figures. Third from Kimes. Off the back set, Biggs right in front of Pirikau. And we're going back and forth here in the 4th.
Ooh, I am liking this energy in here. There is a lot of screaming going on both sides of the court. It is energetic, it is fun. Volleyball is fun. This is great.
Again, we noted Jasmine Johnson talking about her team and how much they're enjoying the game again. You're seeing that display on the court this afternoon. Bennett off the tape. Good save made by Fidel. Peterson with a shot. Touch against Texas State's 2-point lead for the Texans.
Again, Peterson hitting .429 right now as a hitting percentage. That is a very high hitting percentage, especially for a pin hitter who typically gets harder sets.
And now the Texans as a team out hitting Texas State 197 to 177. And now 20 combined service errors this afternoon.
So refreshing sometimes to see, though, that even at this high of a level, people are missing their serves. It's just like basketball with a free throw.
And a timeout on the floor. Here in the 4th, it's a 1-point lead for the Texans, but they trailed 2-1 in this exhibition from Strand Arena. The Bobcats won the first two. Texans battle back to win the third and leading here the fourth by 1 in this exhibition. That's going to 5 no matter the result here this fourth set. Two teams agreeing to playing a 5-setter this afternoon. This point will be awarded to Texas State. And we are tied here in the fourth. Been a very competitive match today. So far, the two teams have collected 34 ties and combined for 17 lead changes. Tied here at 15. Rice Lockett a shot. Kept alive by Cons. Now a free ball for the Texans to work with. Quick play in the middle. Pericao, great dig. Andrews the angle shot. Dug out by the Texans, kept alive by Benke. Back set, Peterson ends the rally and puts the Texans back on top.
Man, that was a fun rally, and this is exactly what you want to see out of an exhibition match, is this high competitive level. You know, it's getting you ready for your actual season today.
Season for both teams starting opening day, August 28th. In about 2 weeks. Addison Rice Lockett. Out from the middle, it's Den. Pericao from her knees makes the play. Benke for the right side. And then able to keep it in play. Wants to get a 2-point lead for Tarleton State.
Yeah, and I love that Benke's not shying away, though. She's still staying aggressive. That ball is just barely out.
The Texans from 7 wins in 2024 to 16 last year. One of the biggest single-season improvements in program history. Andrews, nice play, Rice Lockett. Peterson. Now it's Andrews. Going Texas State. Kind of a delayed call there from the down official. Lead down to 1. As Anna Blaine rotates back in for the Bobcats at the center position. Replaces Chauvin. Standing serve. Well, this play all out of sorts. And the point winds up going to Tarleton State.
Just barely out. I like to see Anna Blaine, though, facing the net and kind of doing a side set there to the right. It was creative for sure, but just barely out on Texas State.
Texas State challenging touch.
It's another challenge here this afternoon. We've seen quite a few from the two teams. I believe this is our 5th challenge of the day.
Quite a few challenges. These coaches are excited about their teams and, you know, standing up for them and these points. Curious to see the outcome of this challenge.
18-16, the call. Ruled as an attacking error against Kaylin Roble.
You see a touch here, Brant, on your end?
The top of your screen here. Hard to tell. Bobcats believe there was a touch against Leah Perrowan. Off that left side for Tarleton State, a player we haven't seen yet today, a sophomore out of Hawaii. Didn't play a lot last year as a freshman in only 10 sets for the Texans. One of 2 Hawaiian-born players on this Texans roster. And there, a good look at Alyssa Den, the reigning WAC freshman of the year. Named to the all-conference team as well, averaging more than a block per set. Hitting percentage just under 300.
The call stands.
On the floor stands. Unsuccessful challenge for Texas State. Remains a 2-point lead for Tarleton State. Again, looking at the top of your screen, Texan to the far side of the nets. Perot, Bobcats thought she had a touch. But the call stays with Tarleton State. leading here by 3. Andrews cuts it to 2. Isabella Andrews with her 8th kill. Only Binke has more for Texas State.
That was a statement swing there by Andrews. Just coming off of that little error, she had to make that statement piece right after.
And Andrews trying to draw the Bobcats to within 1. Nice sharp serve. It's an ace for the Bobcats. 15th of the day.
That was great placement by Andrews there, just finding the right side of the court. The ball dropped right in front of that passer.
Now serving for the tie here. There might be a discrepancy in the score, by the way. This last point at Tarleton. Here in the arena, you see it there on the screen. 2-point Texan lead. But one of the stat monitors that we have is a 1-point match right now. Well, we will go with the arena. Now you see it just changed. So 1-point Texan lead. Saved by Blaine. Shot from McKee. Lands back on the Texas State side. Now a 20-point fourth set for Tarleton State, leading by 2.
Davis is really showing up on the net here, not only from an offensive standpoint, but with the block too.
20-18. Massey. Nice serve for the Texans' 5th ace today.
Another ball that just drops right in front of the passer. Those were always my least favorite balls to pass, are those floats that just drop. It's difficult.
One of the better serves we've seen for the Texans here today. Massey trying to do it again. This time into the nets. The break the Bobcats needed. Drawing to within 2, and Adair will now serve for Texas State.
This does put Texas State in a rotation where a libero is not on the court right now. You want to watch out for Tarleton State aiming for, well, now there's a substitution.
And Adair will not serve here. She's going to give way to Karis Carpenter. Senior, or freshman rather, from Livonia, freshman. Very good defensively. Over 1,000 career digs in high school. Now serving for Texas State. Whistle blows. I think somebody stepped on the line. It was the Texans. Now 21-20.
I do want to say that was a great substitution there, because now you do have a defensive player in the back row. So there's no lacking of defensive players right now, where it would have been a middle blocker back here.
Carpenter serving for the tie. Jump serve is over. Biggs. Back to a 2-point Texan lead.
Biggs did find her way through the defense, though, on Texas State. Big swing from Biggs.
One of 2 players transferred in for the Sun Belt last year with the Texans, both from Old Dominion. Serve there to Andrews. Blaine setting up McKee. Nice defensive play made by Massey. Free ball for Texas State. Nice dig in the back row from Earl. That shot dug out by Blaine. Biggs on the shot. Blaine there again. McKee gets it over. Bryce Lockett blocks, but out of bounds. The Texans stake a 3-point lead.
What a fun rally that was. So much back and forth. You can really tell we're within the end of this set. It's getting competitive.
And now Alexa Earl, a chance to put the Texans in a position for set point. Serve that to Andrews. Tough ball. Blaine saves it to Bennett. Back sets. And Roble.
What a smart swing by Roble there. She didn't have to be aggressive. She found the campfire, the middle of the court, and went after it. Very hard to dig on Tarleton State side.
Blaine comes out for Texas State. That brings Chauvin back in to set. Rice Lockett, off the tape, scores, and it's set point for the Texans.
I love Rice Lockett's swings. I mean, she just powers through it every single time, and it looked like it was going into the net, but somehow went over it on that one. That was a fun one to see.
A match high 11 kills today for Madison Rice Lockett. Set point for the Texans. Bennett keeps it going for Texas State.
I like the energy right now from number 5, from Izzy Chauvin. She is trying to fire up this Texas State team. I know they're down by 2, but it's certainly not over for them.
The former ULM Warhawk, Kimes on service for Texas State. Rice Lockett dug out by Perkow. Rally keeps going. Benke off the right side, and the Bobcats still have life here in the 4th.
What a dig earlier from Perkow. She is getting all the hard balls up right now. It is hard to get a ball on the ground with her, and a fantastic decision there by Benke to go down the line.
It remains set point for the Texans. Bobcats trying to force us into extras. They need this point. Oh, and that is a service error, believing it's a whistle blew. I thought that perhaps Kimes was over the line on the service. She just served it too quickly, but there is a service error, and the Texans take the 4th set. So this match was always destined for 5. Normal hold. It's going to come down to the 5th set.
Absolutely, and brilliant by the coaching to decide to go to 5 earlier, just to try out all these lineups. But man, going to 5 competitively too is such an exciting thing for both of them.
Texans once down 2 sets to none, have knotted us at 2 apiece, heading into the 5th here in this Saturday exhibition in San Marcos. Entertaining exhibition today that comes down to the 5th and final sets. Bobcats taking the first 2, the Texans a battle back to take the last 2. So again, we knew the 2 were going to play 5 no matter what today, simply because they want to get as many reps as possible ahead of the regular season. But lo and behold, the winner today will be determined by this 5th set, the first one to 15.
This is just what you want out of an exhibition match, and all of these sets, everyone going to above 20 points in each of these. You're getting so many reps within this game, and that is perfect to set you up for the season ahead.
John Hewitt talking to his team before they take the floor here in the 5th. Two teams will exchange sides on the 8th point of this 5th set. Texans showing a lot of fight and grit today. Characteristics that Jasmine Johnson has told us defines her team. And again, big thing for her was trying to establish chemistry today. What better way to establish that than to rally back from down 0-2?
Truly, this is probably a game that this team is going to look back on later in the season. And man, if they can come back from being down 2 sets and come back and potentially win this, I would be using this as a culture piece for sure.
Or look at Brooke Benke, 11 kills, tied for the match high, along with Madison Rice Lockett, Tarleton State. There she is on your left. The only 2 players this afternoon in double-figure kills. Biggest advantage the Bobcats have had today has been in the serve game, 16 aces. And they've also committed 12 service errors. On top of that, 23 attacking errors for Texas State. So some miscues to be cleaned up for Coach Hewitt's team before the regular season starts in 2 weeks. 13 days away for the opener against Oklahoma Sooners out of the SEC. A conference that has claimed the last, I believe it's 3 now, national champions: Kentucky, Texas, and Texas A&M.
The SEC is quite a strong conference when it comes to volleyball.
SEC, the Big Ten, and of course the old Pac-12. Excellent in volleyball, the days of USC and UCLA. Of course, Mick Haley, normally in your seat, longtime head coach for the Trojans. First serve for the Texans. First whistle comes early, and a Bobcat was in the nets. Early advantage, Tarleton State.
Again, y'all, a rule in volleyball, you cannot touch that net. It does result in a point for the other team.
Serve to Benke. Blaine saves it for Benke with a shot. Diggs off the back set. Nice dig from Carpenter. That goes off of Benke, off her leg, and it's 2-0 Tarleton State.
That was a fun tip move there from Benke. They're running a really quick offense, specifically within that last point. So that was a smart move on Benke's part.
Fidel serving again for Tarleton State. Her serve. And now Benke into the swing in the 5th. And the Bobcats are on the board.
They keep going to Benke, and it keeps working. I'm sure we're going to see more of this over the next several points.
Texas State serving for the first time here in the 5th. It's Anna Blaine. Blaine today for the Bobcats. 27 assists, 5 digs. Deep serve. Dan for the middle. Burkow, another defensive play for Texas State. Benke shot too deep. Back to a 2-point advantage for the Texans.
A lot of fun defensive moves there on that last point. You can see Sean Hewitt talking to Benke on the side. Probably just to calm down, be yourself, get your feet to the ball.
MVP of the day for the Texans. Madison Rice Lockett will serve now for Tarleton State. Move that to Honora. Benke been very active here in the 5th. Feels like Benke is at every swing so far for Texas State.
Every single swing. Sometimes that comes from players on the sideline in between sets, knowing they're confident, going to their setter and saying, hey, set me, I feel good, let's do it.
Well, again, the Bobcats, big shoes to fill. The loss of Samantha Wunsch, one of the top offensive players in the Sun Belt Conference. Over the past several seasons, the Bobcats have to replace her scoring production as his serve hits the net for Texas State's 13th service error of the day. And once again, a 2-point Texan lead. Letty Ray Gwen. And the two teams exchanging service errors. That's now 25 today, an entire set's worth of points in service errors this afternoon.
There's a fine line that you walk between being aggressive and missing the ball, and right now both teams are kind of just leaning on that missing the ball line.
Deep swing. Benke. She's been the go-to in the 5th. All tied at 4.
Again, I really love a back row attack this early in the season. You know, you're still building chemistry between setters and hitters, and, you know, being able to execute a back row attack is something really strong.
Benke came on strong towards the end of last season. Double-figure points 3 times over the final 5 regular season matches. A gimme point there for Texas State. Honora scores it on a ball that lands in the Texan campfire, and the Bobcats on top for the first time in the 5th.
That is always such a tough one when you don't know which player is going to get it. Man, you just have to be strong in your communication in those plays.
Paracal has had a great Bobcat debut, but another service error here, and tied again at 5.
Such a tough one because within the 5th set, you only have 15 points, and you don't want to be missing serves right now, that's for sure.
37 ties this afternoon. The freshman minus to the other freshman, Honora. Back set, shot right side. Texans score. Unsuccessful swing for Emma Elasser. Another freshman for the Bobcats out of Katy, seeing her for the first time. 6'5", Tarelton State. Through to Honora. Now it's Bennett, ties us at 6.
Bennett had such a statement piece within this game, especially the first 2 sets, and I'm excited to see what she does in this 5th set. 5th sets are crucial. You get to see who gets to perform under pressure and who shows up in these instances.
Honora today, 5 kills, 4 aces, a couple of digs and a block. Each team playing for the lead, and it goes to Texas State as Bennett scores again. 7-6 Bobcats.
Bennett is clearly thriving under the pressure right now. Looks like she's calm, cool, collected, just doing her game.
Carpenter down the right side with an ace. 17th for Texas State this afternoon. And on the 8-point, the two teams should be changing sides, and they're not calling for it here. We play on. Back set. And that's going to let out. Peterson will score the point for the Texans to draw them to within 1.
Peterson just swung so hard on that ball. I mean, it was a good touch on the Texas State side, but it went soaring out of bounds just from the pure power with Peterson.
Alexa Earl back into serve here for Tarelton State as she rotates back in. Jump serve is over to Paracal. And Honora off the hands. Puts the Bobcats on top by 2.
Good swing from Honora there, finding the inside of the hand of their block. Strong placement.
Honora off the tape, another ace. Her 5th today. And the Bobcats a 3-point lead, 5 away from taking this exhibition from the Texans.
That was a crucial ace for the Texas State Bobcats.
Honora starts deep behind the back line, running start into it. Served it right to Gwen. Bryce Lockett. Oh, and a nice save by Benke, keeping this rally going. Peterson, cross-court shot. Call goes against Texas State.
Looked like a Texas State player was in the net there. Net is definitely wiggling back and forth.
Well, that was a point that Tarleton State needed. Frank trying to draw them within one. Back set, Bennett. Boy, she has been a force here in the fifth.
She truly has, performing under pressure, finding the space on the sharp cross angle. That's a difficult angle to execute, and she did it.
Bennett comes out. That'll give Cameron Kimes a chance to come in and serve for Texas State. 4 points away from a win. Peterson. 11-9, and for Peterson, now 12 kills for her, surpassing Rice Lockett with the team lead.
Either of these teams are going down without a fight. This is the kind of competitiveness that you really want to see right out of the get-go at the start of the season.
Peterson talking to Jasmine Johnson after that last swing. As Peyton Vidal comes in to serve here for Tarleton State. Down by 2, deep serve. And here's Benke with a missile right down the line. Back to a 3-point Texas State lead.
Wow, that was a fun swing. She got right on top of it, snapped that wrist straight down.
Was able to get it inside the hands of Taylon Biggs. Blaine with a serve to Rice Lockett. Gets it back. Hit that to Blaine. Out of system swing coming. Off the back set, Biggs. Blaine there on another defensive play. Benke out of system swing is way too strong. And once again, the lead cut to 2.
I like that Benke's going after it, but sometimes you just need to reel back a little bit. I understand there's fun and excitement within this fifth set, but got to make sure you're getting on top of it.
Double-double today for Rice Lockett. 11 kills, 11 digs for her. It does have 1 ace this afternoon. Jump serve to Honora, kept alive by Purikow. Well, she has been dynamite today. Dan scores over the Texans. It is a 1-point set here in the fifth.
That was such smart placement there by Den, but man, that save from Purikow was exciting to watch.
She has just been a magnet for the volleyball today.
Really.
Critical error there for the Texans. Bobcats now on top by 2 once again, and now 2 away from taking it as Benke gets ready to serve for the Bobcats. Deep serve. Biggs hit that to Blaine. Off the bump set from Purikow. Lenora kept alive by Tanko. We're still going. And the Texans draw within 1. It's Biggs who scores, and it's 13-12.
I'm on the edge of my seat right now. This is a fun battle. Lots of balls not hitting the ground, staying up, staying alive.
Gwynn serving for Tarleton State. Miscommunication for the Bobcats on serve receive. Now tied at 13, and essentially now we are in extra points.
True, and it's nice to note too that neither coach has called a timeout yet. They're still holding on to that.
Jasmine Johnson has not called a timeout today for the Texans. Gwynn, the serve for the lead. And there's Purikow, just another incredible play. Rally keeps going. Shot from the middle. Madison Frank, and it's match point for the Texans.
That was a huge swing from Madison Frank, one that Tarleton State definitely needed, and man, the energy is up in this gym.
Timeout taken by Sean Hewitt and the Bobcats. Match point here for the Texans, a team that was down 0-2 and trailed 13-11 here in the fifth. They just do not quit.
They do not quit. And talk about the culture piece. We've been saying that so much about what Coach Jasmine Johnson is bringing to this squad, and it's so apparent right now in these tough, pressure-filled moments.
First called timeout for the Bobcats here in the 5th. They have 1 left. They have to get the next point to keep this going. Bobcats have been very strong in the serve game today with 18 aces. But they've also committed 14 service errors, 27 attacking errors, a sub-200 hitting percentage this afternoon. And mistakes might cost them this exhibition against the Texans. But they can't score this next point.
There seems to be a bit of jitters and a little bit of nerves over here on the Texas State side. They just need to take a deep breath, calm down, know how to, play their game. This is their game, their gym, their arena.
Letty Ray Gawain serving here for Tarleton State. For the win. Tanko taps it over, and the Bobcats tie it. A pancake attempt by Rice Lockett couldn't get there, and now the 5th set goes to extras.
And you have to win by 2. It will not stop at 15. You have to win by 2.
Paracal. Tough ball here. Texans get it over. Paracal, free ball for Tarleton State. Paracal, a great dig into the bench. Bobcats can't get it over, and once again it is match point for the Texans.
The hustle on both sides of the court right now is so fun to watch. Both teams are getting after it.
Bobcats again facing defeat if they can't score this point. Minus gets it over to Benke. Oh, and Honora can't make the play, and the Texan comeback is complete. Down 0-2, the Texans rally back to win in 5. Take a thrillerless exhibition against Texas State.
What a showing that we saw today from the Texans. That was a hard-fought win. It is hard to come back down 2 sets and win 3 straight in a row. That's what we call a reverse sweep.
And so the Texans win it in 5 today over the Bobcats. A reminder that our next volleyball telecast here on the Pac-12 YouTube channel coming up on August 28th when Texas State hosts the Oklahoma Sooners out of the SEC at 6 o'clock that night. Well, that's going to wrap up our broadcast of today's exhibition from San Marcos. So for Audrey Buchanan, I'm Brain Freeman saying so long from Strand Arena. The final score, Tarleton State wins it 3-2 in a 5-setter over Texas State. All games and matches airing on the Pac-12 networks are streaming live and archived on the Pac-12 YouTube channel. This has been a presentation of Pac-12 Enterprises from San Marcos. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.